Hello, hello. Hopefully you can hear me. I've been working on this all night, and I decided to go ahead and stream it as I'm doing it because I'm hoping that someone can kind of see the process that I go through for these crazy little projects of mine. And hopefully you can see my cursor a little bit easier. I went ahead and so I use a Windows 7 virtual machine, so it's not that advanced, but I need it for my pirated software. And Windows 7 didn't have as much accessibility options, and I have it on a 4K monitor. So the resolution is super high, and that means I need to enhance the size of the cursor, but I can't quite do that, so I turned the mouse trails on. So hopefully you can see my cursor flying around. I was going to stream this on my new channel that is dedicated to infrastructure, but it is so brand new that when I clicked on the go live button, it insisted that I wait 24 hours. There's a clock down, there's a countdown timer currently going. So I'm like, I'm not going to wait 24 hours to do this. What I'll do is I'll stream it on my old channel, and then I'll post a recorded copy of it on my new channel, so that way it can actually go to where it needs to go. So right now what I'm doing actually is I'm trying to decide where street lights, stops, and yield signs should go. But before I continue with that, I just want to show you and explain what this map's actually doing. So let me remove those. Before I do that even, I'm going to go a step earlier than that. Originally, this was a map where I was trying to show my network that I'm putting together using disentanglement, Dutch style, including traffic calming, disentangling roads, in other words, giving primacy to certain modes on certain streets. And as part of that, I started creating these markers here, which show the types of bike roads that I'm creating. That's the truly the only way I could accurately describe it, the same way that Not Just Bikes describes it. The Dutch have a word that is similar to bike highway, which means it is a bicycle path of a certain type. And that type is completely separated, not to the side of a road, right? But they have their own roads. They have their own bike roads. We don't have the full luxury in actually we do. Okay, so we do have a couple of these already. We already have the Tahoe Pyramid Bikeway / Tahoe Pyramid Trail / Truckee River Path / Truckee River Bike Path / Truckee River Walk. That's the crazy thing about this path that's going along right here is it has like 5 or 6 different names depending on which PR campaign you want to follow to try to promote it. I will try to refer to it simply in this context as Bike Route 2, which is what it's signed for. Municipally, it is considered a piece of the bike infrastructure. It is not a trail, okay? Not, at least not this portion. It gets into a trail when you get outside of Reno and Sparks, but within these two cities, it is a paved bikeway. And as far as Reno is concerned, they call it Bike Route 2. And that's been that way for about 50 years. Okay. And it's still only partially completed, but that's a different topic for a different video. So this is bike route 2, the highway. And as soon as you get past Lake Street, it turns into a freeway. And the reason why it's white, which means shared use path, is because it's a bikeway. It's a nature trail, really, when it gets out of this area here. It's a paved trail that pedestrians and bikes can both share. This is the same way that Dutch bikeways that are in suburban areas act. Not that many people walk, therefore they have a low amount of walking, which means that there's not that high of a chance of someone getting run over by a bike. If it comes to it, they add an extra meter or so, and that's about like 5 feet, 4 or 5 feet, and that means they have more room for pedestrians. But in some cases I've seen it where it's just like, it's like there's no danger of someone getting run over by a bike because it's a shared use path, because there's not that much foot traffic. Everyone's using the bike because why walk when you can roll? All right. So that explains the highway. Now, I also have this listed as a highway. This is Evans Street. Yes, for those wanting the Center Street cycle path. Okay, just grip down for a little bit and bear with me here, okay? Because I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to create this I'm trying to make this network that you'll see in a second. Okay, you'll see in a second. The blue lines, once again, to recap, these blue lines here are local access paths, meaning they're half the width of the bike highway, and they're on each side of the street, which promotes slower driving of your bike, more stopping, more shopping, more eating. It's for destination areas. It's for local access areas. That's why all of the downtown core really has these blue areas, because we're placemaking. We want people to make a place to stop. There is a connector that runs through this entire thing. I was able to get away with that because there's a railroad track that goes right through the center of town. So not only do we have two freeway couplets, north and southbound freeway couplets, but we also have a railroad track, which thankfully about 15 to 20 years ago was put underground. So we don't have to worry about that. So that's one thing that needs no longer to be dealt with. However, we have a freeway up here in American style, open cut. They call it, yeah, it's open cut, and it makes it sound like a wound because it pretty much is. They slashed our city in half. Instead of putting the freeway around the city, they put it right through it because they figured, well, no one in their right mind would ever want to be outside of a car again. Well, all right. 1960s industrial thinking. 1960s industrial thinking. How wrong they were. Ruining cities. Now, the last thing I want to show here. Oh, by the way, the red here is also the same thing as the highway. It's just the reason why it's red is because I am trying to place that as something separate from the sidewalk. So like what I was talking about, widening it a little bit more. So this would be like 15 feet here, and the white ones have a minimum of 10 feet. Although when you get to this Riverwalk area, it's shared use. It's still 15 usable feet. So I just left it white because it's not side by side, not parallel. It is overlapping. In fact, there's not even, it's a very, you can't go fast around here because you're interacting with cars, you're interacting with high volumes of people. You have to slow down. It just makes sense. But when you get over here, you don't have to do that as much because there aren't going to be that many people walking down Evans. Okay. That's why I was able to get away with it here. The reason why I can't get away with that on Center Street or Sierra Street is because there's freeway traffic, which means that there's 3 lanes in most of these areas, and then it gets down to 2 lanes. Some areas have 4 lanes because they have a left or right turn lane. As you see here, all of the parking, the multi-level parking structures, like Kerry Koski was attempting to explain during the city council meeting, were placed on these couplets. In other words, you come in south from here, you move in here for the parking lot. You come in here, move into the parking lot, move into the parking lot, move into the parking lot. That was purposefully designed that way. When you're coming northbound on Center Street, parking lot, parking lot, parking lot. So, yeah, even the new Canyon apartment building that they just built last year, parking lot right there. I have a feeling they're going to do the same thing right here too for this right here. When these old motels and this area that used to be single family dwellings gets bulldozed, probably the same thing. Parking lot, parking lot, parking lot. That's the only way to do it. You have to do it that way, and you put it on Center Street. So there's going to be plenty of inlets. There won't be any there won't be any curbs here because they have to have a place for the cars to get through. To make a left turn or a right turn to get into the parking facilities. So why have a boundary? Why have a barrier for bikes when it's like it's going to be cut off every half of a block? Bad idea. When you get to this right here is 4th Street, by the way, 4th and Center Street. This is where you get the events center. They don't have inlets. However, they do have parallel loading zones. They also have loading zones here on 5th, and they have loading zones on Lake. I remember when Kanye West years ago visited, him and his elaborate setup that he had, there was like 5 semis surrounding this entire building to build the stage for his events that he was holding in this area. It was crazy. Okay, so the bigger the event, the more semis are going to be on these streets. You can't have it on Center Street. This is because this is where the cars are trying to get to the freeways. So they would put them like on all the side streets here. And then they have loading zones for smaller vehicles right here. So it's crazy. Here's the bowling stadium. You have Plaza that goes right underneath it. And it goes right there. So this building is raised up above the ground level. It's like the ground level isn't, you have a street that goes underneath the building. Okay. Why? Because this is a couplet. You have to have room for cars right here. This is the way they designed it. I hate it, but that's how they designed it 60 years ago. Can't do anything about it. Plaza Street right here, 5th Street, 4th Street right here, 5th Street, 6th Street. Okay. So car heavy, car heavy, car heavy, car heavy. I mean, it's very basic. It's very self-explanatory. Why do I have to really like try to justify this? I feel like it's the other way around. Why, the proponents of the cycle track for Center Street are trying to justify why you can cut cars down when it's self-evident why you can't. It's couplets for a freeway. The only way you can get rid of that is to move the freeway access over here to Evan but you can't do that because number one, you'd have to go to the Federal Highway Administration to be able to even get that approved. And then you would be affecting all of these areas. It's like the entire city's been built up. We're stuck with it. And yes, you can encourage more local traffic to ride bicycles, but you still cannot encourage until this area. Okay. So you can encourage local traffic to use bicycles to cut down on congestion. People, in other words, people that are not using the freeway, people that are using the freeway for the cars are coming from either other localities in Reno, Sparks, Coughlin Ranch, Spanish Springs, Stead, Golden Valley, South Meadows, all of those areas. Or you also have the interstate traffic as well, which means trucks, delivery vehicles, commercial goods, semis. Okay. They are not going to be convinced to not get, if their delivery's right here and they're on the clock and they got to get back up and on the freeway to the next place, believe me, what are you going to do? Stand in front of the semi and say, no, you can't come in here. They're going to do it. Have to leave it open. So, let's say 10 to 20 years in the future, I can see it to where after the bicycle facilities have been created, after more mixed use, dense, urban residential is created, then local and regional traffic will reduce. Car traffic will reduce because there will be higher population in this downtown core. If you do it right, more people will want to live here. It's already happening. Let me show you the destination. So these are the transportation labels. Let me show you the destination labels. This is what we're dealing with here. So dense housing, dense housing, dense housing, dense housing, dense housing, dense housing. Most of these used to be hotel casinos. They're turning into mixed use residential. We used to have 20 plus casinos within this one 5-block area alone. Now there's 3.5. Big slump in casinos. Check the news articles. Corona family, everyone's looking into making their places mixed use, urban, entertainment with some gambling involved, but that's not the main attraction that they're trying to draw anymore. They're trying to bring in mixed use urban residential. They need to get their rent paid. They need to have people living in their hotel casinos, so they're turning them into condos and apartments. Okay, that's why Harrah's, was let go by Caesars Entertainment, Corona family, because they're going to turn it into condos and apartments, mixed use residential. That's right here. Future dense housing is happening up here. This one's already built. Guarantee you this one's going to be built soon. So is this one. Eventually, I have a feeling these are going to be torn down. That's going to be built. That's going to be built. All of this is going to be a southward extension of UNR. It's going to be right here. Okay. Future, like probably later on, eventually this will probably end up being built out. Probably, I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's a railroad track that goes right through here. There already is some apartment building complexes here, but a lot of this is still in individual, single family dwellings. Development's going to happen probably. The larger the population, the more. If we want to have a walkable, mixed use city, that's going to happen. We're growing. I'm going to talk real quick about the lack of parking lots that we have. I'm talking about surface level parking lots. I'm going to bring this up so I can kind of zoom in real quick and show you. For the majority of the city, we have been spared the horrible effects of post-World War II, 1950s Federal Highway Administration and federal interstate system creation. Most cities, even Carson City, if you've been to Carson City, you can see that a lot of their old 19th century urban core was demolished because they wanted to create parking spaces. Look up videos on YouTube about this phenomenon. Not just bikes did one, talking about urban cores being demolished, like especially in Texas, a lot of the Midwest, this happened. St. Louis, they demolished their city to create huge parking lots. For the most part, city of Reno managed to avoid that. Why? Because the casinos wanted walkability. High amounts of commercial interest in keeping it walkable. So the only areas that we have demolished for parking lots is this area right here, which is parking for Renown. This area here, parking for Renown. This area right here, what is this? This is, this was development, but Jacobs tore it down because they're trying to keep it from being called blight, because they're still developing their properties. Over here, same thing. In fact, Jacobs, from all of this demolishment that you see over here now, and it's actually gotten worse since these pictures, the satellite pictures were taken. All of this demolishment happened in the last 5 years. There was buildings here. Jacobs tore them down. This is how come we have so much homelessness in the downtown area. Sorry, got to call it out. They messed up the city to create this new. They're saying it's going to be walkable. They better get on soon, because they built a new parking structure right here. It's not shown on this map, but it is there. So that's a good start. I should probably add that to my, I think it actually already is on there. Yeah, I already have it listed as parking. Oh, the other thing too about this parking thing is I pointed the bottom of the letters parking, parking, parking to show where you access it. The street that you access it from. So parking is facing this way. Parking is facing this way. So I made sure to put that little thing in here. Transit hub, very important. And yeah, okay. So let me get back to where I was talking about. What was I talking about? Yes, this whole thing is about disentanglement. Okay, so we're looking at a network. We're trying to create a network for bicycles for downtown. Where do you put the local access? Where do you put the highways? I've gone into this in great detail in a previous video that I rambled on for about 2.5 hours. Actually, the 2.5 hour video, the majority of what I'm concentrating on in that video is probably in the first half hour to hour, maybe 45 minutes or so. After that, I just start kind of playing around. So people that are intimidated in looking at that video, it's not actually, you don't have to watch the whole thing. It's not actually as long or bad as it seems, because toward the end of it, I actually just start kind of playing with my map and drawing more lines and stuff, which isn't really that important, but it's, you know, it's cool, I guess, for those who are interested in it. So let's get back to entanglement. Let's look at how to disentangle this place. I started out first by creating what I called bike blocks. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit to show you what this looked like. And then from there, I went to a deeper level of psychosis, craziness. I went to the next level. So the light green is the downtown neighborhood. It's either zoned as downtown or Riverwalk, downtown Riverwalk, whatever. And then you get out of that area. Now, this one is missing for some reason. This also, hold on, I'm gonna have to fix this up. I don't know what happened. Somehow it got removed, but yeah, this is also downtown. Sorry, I have to fix this up here. Actually, yeah. Now these are bike blocks, which means that I'm using the bike streets as borders. Okay. After I did this, I started looking deeper into things. I said, well, what about car blocks? So this is very dark, but same concept. Okay. All of these are the blocks for cars. What I'm looking at here, and obviously there are more intersections than this. If you zoom in real close, you can see here, there's an intersection here. Okay. Why didn't I include that in the quote car blocks unquote? It's because there's not that many cars on trying to get to those intersections. It's not as high. It's not as frequent. Or I'm actually, I looked at what is, and then I began looking at what could be. So now I'm on the stage of, this is what I want to try to encourage. I'm trying to make it where cars stay to their areas the more, so that way there could be more biking and walking. And that's where this one comes in. This is the same thing as the bike blocks, but it's just one color. Why did I do this? Because I am using two analogous colors overlapping each other in order to create this. I began looking at the congruency of the intersections. When I mean congruency, what I mean is where do bikes and cars need equal access and where do they not? When they do not, who gets priority or primacy? Primacy, primacy, not supremacy. We're not talking about supremacy here. We're talking about primacy as in who gets to come first? That sounded wrong. Who gets to drive? Who has the right of way? I guess that's a better way of putting it. Who has the right of way? Okay. I found some interesting things, and it also started making me thinking about it's like, well, did I make this right? I started looking at, I didn't think about that. So let me explain what's going on here. The areas that are pure yellow are hazardous or hostile or collision high for bikes. The areas that are blue are safe for bikes. Obviously, you can't swim your bike down the river, but this corridor in general, if there's no other obstacle, would be safe for bikes. So this began introducing a new unexpected level of complexity to this. I started studying the stress levels of each of these blocks and where they are. And from there, I have begun it enabled me to begin deriving where the traffic signals should be, what kind of traffic signals, and am I actually creating a walkable environment? This is great. I wasn't expecting this, but this is what happened. Thank you, Mr. Albright, for your comment on Twitter, which triggered this whole mess. Thank you very much. So let's take a look at where the car primacy roads are, the yellow corridors. We're looking at 4th Street. It's 4th Street from Keystone to Evans. After Evans, it quiets down. This is, in other words, right after the bus station. Anyone know what the speed limit is right here? 20 miles an hour. It's a safety zone. Fines are doubled. Does anyone follow it? Nope. They ignore it. It's still hazardous. So signs don't work. What do we have to do? Well, if this is so this means that what that tells me is we have to improve the street in some other way. Because if this is an area that has a bus station next to it and there's high walkability that's desired because there's people walking around here, we have to come up with some other design feature to encourage that. So this area, my first guess is this area might need to be improved. We might need to have bike lanes on 4th Street here where there currently are none. Yes, and I think I said this like a year ago when I examined it, when the whole the safety zone thing is a wonderful. I consider safety zone signing to be more like a pledge by the city council to act and move forward with at least the acknowledgement and the intention for creating a safer area. In that way, I think it is a good first step. It's not where the end goal needs to be. There needs to be physical design features that slow people down because, let's face it, no one really gives a crap about a sign if it's not enforced by tons of cops. We need to reduce the amount of cop intervention to enforce this. Parking intervention needs to be reduced down. Why? Because it costs a lot to staff these people. They have better things to do. Let's calm traffic down through physical measures in order to engineering measures in order to lower down the need for enforcement policies and it's just, administrative things, ordinances. Engineering is where that comes in. Public works. Okay. So we have to look at this. How do we fix up this, how do we slow down, fix up this core when we got two couplets, north, south, and, southbound on Sierra, northbound on Center. Damn freeways there. I wish I had a time machine. Okay. Okay, next thing. Real quick, let's look at the blue lines. I'm going to look at the blue lines. The entire railroad track corridor is safe for bikes if it's designed well. So that's why I was able to put a bike highway through there. This southern portion of Evans Street and the Tahoe Pyramid Bikeway, Bike Route 2 over here. Something I was not expecting, the very beginning of Mill Street. If all Kai, Tom, I hope you're both listening. If you focus all of the car traffic and funnel it through Center Street, you make all of the surrounding streets safer for bicycles. I'm going to repeat that. If you concentrate in Midtown, down here, if you get rid of the congestion problem in Midtown, then you make all surrounding streets in downtown safer for bicycles. The reason why these streets here are kind of meh right now is because down here there is a congestion problem because there's no couplets through Midtown. That has to be solved. We have to address the car problem in Midtown. Fix that, and you disentangle, and you create a bike path network that's disentangled. You suddenly solve the congestion, and you create instant walkability because you are creating car corridors, a car network, car main nets. Hoofdnets is the Dutch term. You create hoofdnets, hoofnetten for cars and hoofnetten for bikes. Okay. If you put a Center Street cycle track on Center Street, you're fighting against what would actually help the entire network and reduce congestion and traffic. Okay. All right. So that's not to say that a bicycle network cannot exist on Center Street. I'm going to also say that as well. In the future, in other words, Center Street should be next, not first. Do it later when you have car traffic calmed down, then Center Street will be safer. In other words, instead of using the stick approach and putting it there to force cars to go somewhere else and just hope that it works, you induce demand, the carrot approach. You give people an alternative option first on another street. They will begin using it. That will reduce the AADT, the annual average daily traffic. Okay. And that will make more bike paths possible. Cart before the horse. You have to put the horse before the cart. You got to make a bikeway system that does not interfere with the car traffic for now. And then in the future, it will be calmed down, less stressful, more room for bikes. Then you can put a Center Street cycle track. Okay. All right. Okay. Does that make sense? Do it the other way around. Make a concession for the vehicle traffic for now. And then once this works, population will go up, bike ridership will go up, less cars will need Center Street and Sierra Street, and then you can put a bikeway with less harm for pedestrians and bicyclists and reducing congestion. Okay. I hope that was clear. And that's what Carrie was trying to say. 20 years from now, when we have bikes. Now, I know what happens. I cringe when I hear that too, because it sounds like pro-car propaganda. Because it's like, well, as soon as we have to... Yeah, okay, well, I'm trying to explain the thought process. She was trying to do it in like 1 second. I'm trying to extrapolate on the concept. Okay, so let's get back to the disentanglement thing. Now let's look at the roads that are congruent. Let's look at the corridors where both bicycles and cars can share the road with equal access. And this was kind of cool to see happen. Some of these areas that I now see visually as blank areas, they're neither yellow or blue. I'm realizing, we can get away with bike lanes, bike paths, whatever, bike facilities on these ones as well. The ones that I missed, well, obviously Ralston is there, okay, and they already have bike lanes. 6th Street. That was a surprise to me because 6th Street doesn't have any right now. Yeah. So that was a surprise. Oh, and also Liberty west of South Sierra Street could also have it already has bike lanes on it, I think. Let me double check. Stand by. I'm pretty sure that no, it doesn't. Okay. No bike lane, no bike facilities on West Liberty Street currently. I think that could change. As soon as you get to Sierra, however, because of these two couplets, it's not, I'm not saying that it can't be improved, but due to the mix of high amounts of traffic and high amounts of bikes, 1 second, no, I'm not trying to drag and drop it in here. Thank you very much for trying to be helpful, though. No, that's not what I was trying to do. There we go. I'm just looking at this. Liberty Street going here. So here's your couplet, and here's your couplet. And then you got Virginia Street going through. This is so horrible to try to use a bike through. Okay. So I think off the street bike paths could happen here. You already have the network here. You could put them as bike lanes here. That would, this intersection here is so, that needs to be addressed. There is no primacy explained here. There's no, in other words, there's no yield lines showing which street gets primacy. This, however, is a 15-mile-an-hour street. even though it looks like it's meant for 25 or 30, it's 15 throughout this entire corridor. This should be paved with pavers, physical pavers, to slow people down. That will fix this area up here. If you're going to have it 15 miles an hour, don't depend on speed traps. Pave the damn thing properly. Bring the lanes tighter. Get rid of the median. It's 15 miles an hour. You don't need to. Yeah, see, okay. And then this will be better and safer. And then you could have bike lanes here coming in and off of it. By the way, if you do make this 15 miles an hour, you can actually get rid of the bike lanes. Simplify it. Tell that to the Arlington Street Bridge crew. One moment. Briefly. See here. 1 second. Okay. Sorry, just had to type something. Okay. So yeah, Arlington Street Bridge. 15 miles an hour. They're paving it and designing it like if it's meant for 25 or faster. So contradictory. Island Street should have pavers. Or Island Avenue, excuse me. Sierra Street in this corridor here should have pavers. It's going to create a bottleneck, but this is the Riverwalk. It's got to be turned into a walkable area somehow. They already have a safety zone. No one pays attention to the signs. It's not working. First Street should have pavers. Very small. First Street here should have pavers. Commercial Row, Plaza Street, 3rd Street over here, which is practically an extension of Plaza Street. Okay, they got different names because originally they were different streets, but they got connected together and kind of like this weird, funky way. Pavers. Virginia Street should have pavers. Arguably, the southern portion here of West Street should have pavers too. You're already designing it somewhat like a slow area by having this median, which allows people to kind of make U-turns from these different inlets without interrupting the car traffic too much. So in other words, it's whenever you have the ability to turn left or right, you're creating more conflict points, which means slower traffic. So yeah, pavers. Over here, not so much, okay? You don't need them here because it's kind of, but you could if you wanted to. 3rd Street continues all this way, pavers. Physically slow down the traffic. 6th Street, probably here between Ralston and West Street. You could put pavers there too. It creates safety for pedestrians. Elm Street, North Arlington here. Can't put pavers on Arlington here, and you can't put them on Sierra Street here and here because ambulances. Okay, got to let the ambulances be able to go through. Now, that is not to say that ambulances can't use pavers because, just give them more robust tires and it doesn't affect them. Okay, it all comes down to how it affects the vehicle. It's a physical thing. 8th Street, forget it. Can't do it. Maple Street, can't do it. These essentially are extensions of the off-ramps and on-ramps for the couplets. So basically you have Center Street and the University acting as couplets, and then you also have Maple and 8th also act as couplets. So this is like a rectangular roundabout. Uh, huh. University Terrace. It's supposed. I'm going to go to the street view for a moment. This is supposed to be slow traffic. In fact, this area here, yeah, it's still captured here. This is when someone slammed into the cobblestone thing and they had to repair it. Why? Because people are speeding here. Should probably have pavers. Just saying. Just saying. Right here's the old non-ADA compliant access way on University Street. Right here, this is the ore ditch. This is supposed to be acting as, I mean, this could have been turned into bike facilities once upon a time. There's technically, there is no public access easement on the tract maps through here. This is private property, but no one cared. This area was never developed because it was taken away from people by eminent domain when the freeway was put in. So this property here, it's exchanged hands a few times. There's been a few deeds swinging things around. This entire University Terrace area was meant to be a nice, beautiful, scenic thing. Yeah, 15 miles an hour. Pavers. Do it. Right here. Slow people down. Okay? See, that's the whole point. You slow people down with the rumblies. You give their car the rumblies and they can't go fast. What? It's true. That's my roommate. Okay. Oh, wait. What's the thing? My tummy has the rumblies and it has the rumblies that only feet can quench or whatever. The unicorns. Carl. Yes.
I don't remember this.
I have the rumblies. My tummy has the rumblies that only feet can. Anyway, okay. I'm crazy. All right. Dead end. West Street. This used to not be a dead end. There was a freeway that was put in. I mean, how can people not find public infrastructure fascinating? The ore ditch goes underneath here. All right. I'm getting sidetracked. Ore ditch goes underneath the street, connects up to Manzanita Lake, which is what actually feeds it. This could be turned into a bikeway. I'm like Oprah with cars. Bikeway, you can have a bikeway, and you can have a bikeway. Okay. This area here could be turned into a bikeway to bypass 9th Street and get directly onto 10th. What would the practicality of that be? I'm not entirely sure. If a Sierra Street bikeway is put right here, it can connect the bikeway across this pedestrian area, and you can have it go through the campus. It can happen. You know what I find funny is that Google Maps has a higher propensity for street viewing parking lots than it does sidewalks and bikeways. I tried. Yeah, I wanted to be one of the photographers for Google Maps and do a street view thing for the bike route 2, Tahoe Pyramid Bikeway. And then I looked at their policy, and basically now what they're doing is they're hiring third-party companies to do the street mapping for them. And so you have to buy your own equipment and everything. Yeah. So yeah, there could be a bikeway here, and it could connect up to Evans and start going south. So this right here, you know what? By the way, I will point out that during the Dutch Cycling Embassy, bikewasho.org, if I go to, one second here. Let me see if I can find it. someone came up with an idea. One of the groups came up with an idea. Um, let's see here. Even spreads. Okay. And where is it? Yes, right here. Let me zoom in on it. Okay. Bear with me here. Yes. Someone came up with the idea of having on Evans Street the main access way for bicycles. So you have Evans that goes around the campus, and then you have another one that you even have like a little arch, and it goes here. And I thought, there's a slope and there's a parking lot. I don't know the area too much. Can't really say too much about it. They also have, so the red dashed area here, this is for car traffic or bus traffic is what they wanted to do. Essentially what they're creating here is a bicycle primacy road. Bikes, in other words, pavers would be here, in my estimation. Okay. And then you have another bikeway here. They did the same thing I did. Oh my God, I didn't realize that they had another bikeway right here. This is exactly what needs to happen. This is what I've told them. Yeah, okay, I've been saying this for a long time. Wow. Okay, so I'm glad someone else is thinking like me. Great, cool. That means I'm not the only one. I'm not alone. Yeah, this entire area here becomes like a plaza. Now, let's take that one more step, and I will show you how I would change that a little bit. You could still have it up here. You could still have that. There's a grassy knoll. Let me get the street level view and show you. Yes, there is a raise. So you would have to do it. So it would actually be here rather than the grassy area. You would get around the grassy area. Okay, let me explore this. You would have to get around that. You would have to create it because there's a very steep incline here. Not good for bikes. You would have to. So this is where I was thinking about the ore ditch. How could that be implemented? So now that I understand, yeah, so this is about maybe what, 20 feet elevation difference, bad for bikes. So let's see what we can do with this. How can we improve it? How can we make it possible? Right here, they're creating that pedestrian access way. That's a bridge that goes over that so that way cars can get here and park, and there's low collision for, so let's see. What if this sidewalk were widened? I wonder if there's anyone watching what I'm doing. I'm probably all alone. Yeah, it's just me. I'm talking to myself. No one's watching my videos. Yeah.
Oh, well.
What if... Sorry, delay. Okay. I need to look up my media folders. Go to my camera, sorted, micromobility, areas. Let me see if I have 9th Street down. I have taken hundreds, actually, I think I have like 2,000 photos of the different areas. Yeah, but this isn't this is actually a different folder than what I'm looking for. I need to get to my old stuff. Let's see here. places. Nevada, Reno. It's taking a while for my stuff to load because it's on the server. Bear with me. I'm waiting for my server. Sorry. There's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, ore ditch. There it is. I have a folder of photographs. I went urban exploring with a friend of mine, and we walked the length of the ore ditch from Keystone to Highland Park, I think is what it's called, which is over here. Taylor Memorial Park. So basically we followed the ore ditch all the way up to here by walking it, and I photographed it because I wanted to document it for historic purposes because I knew that the area would be changing soon. And I'm waiting for my server to respond. I might have to damn it. Okay, hold on. My computer is crashing. Yes, close it, restart it. Let me get back there again. Sorry. Computer problems. Live stream. Nevada, Reno. Man, it's taking forever. I gotta find out how come my server is suddenly going so slow. This never used to be this way. This is actually kind of concerning how slow it is. It's trying to load a folder. Just make sure this is the right folder. Yeah, it's got everything in there. Okay. So this is university. I wish I can't do a 360 view. Okay, university. This is where I was just showing you from Google Earth earlier. Yeah, this was that area here that's no longer accessible. It's beautiful. Just they cut it off. They cut off access. Oh yeah, this is Ralston and the ore ditch. This goes through Whitaker Park. Right here's the freeway. So this is where I'm wanting the bikeway. Right here goes through here. It's on level ground, so it can get from UNR to Keystone very easily. See how they got it fenced off currently? Just make it accessible. It's not inaccessible. They didn't know what else to do with this area, so they just created a dog park. That's the ore ditch underneath here. Can't see it. Okay. Could be improved. Comes all the way through here. So yeah, God, I love stuff like this. Why is that curb there? It's like this was on the ground. It doesn't do anything. It's just left over. I love bits and artifacts of old architecture that people have forgotten. This curb here, why? Why is it here? It's like it's like solving a mystery, you know? I wonder what this place looked like 50, 60, 70 years ago. Okay, so this is on top of Ralston, and I was kind of surveying the area and saying, where does it go? I wasn't thinking about bikes back then. I was just looking at this place. All right, here's Washington and 7th Street. The ore ditch goes underneath. Actually, it doesn't. It actually does, yes. This portion it does. Oh, there's my friend. And it goes underneath here. And it goes underneath the freeway. It's over on this side. Underneath here, there's a big depression. This is a flood control area. This flood control point is where water goes into Peavine Creek, which is also subterranean. Peavine Creek starts at Peavine Canyon, or Keystone Canyon, I think. It's up at Keystone and North McCarran, and it remains above ground until around Gary Street. It's up here. Let me show you. The first time I ever saw Peavine Creek, I was just dazzled because it was a hidden creek that is beautifully paved. It's owned, and the public access is owned and maintained by the city. Where's it at? Geary. That's there it is. Geary Street. No, sorry. No, I'm wrong. It's over. Yes. Where is it? Gear Street? See, it's been a few years. I forgot the name of the street. Where is it? Yes, it's down here. This lake is fed by these underground creeks and canals. It's so insanely amazing how, yeah, Gear Street. There it is. So if I come here, let me show you this. Peavine Creek, which still exists. Come on. There we go. It goes through people's yards, comes across the street, and this area here, the first time I saw it, I was amazed because, so I was delivering mail. I just came and put the mail into this person's house, and then I looked at this beautiful shrubbery, and I looked down in here, and you know those purple potted hanging flower pots that you find all along the Riverwalk downtown at West Street Plaza with the footbridges and the planters that hang from the street signs or the lamp posts and everything. There was one of them down here where no one could see it. And I was like, what? Look at this little cobblestone sidewalk. This is beautiful. Don't ever change this. Don't. Please keep it exactly how it is. This is what makes the city beautiful. Don't mess with it, please. Okay. So you can't see this potted plant until you can only access it. There's a little stairway right here, and it goes down where this potted plant is hanging right here underneath this bridge that the Keystone, that Peavine Creek goes through, right? And then, I had to do my work, so I couldn't really spend a lot of time there or anything. I should probably take my bike back up there now that I have a bike and I can go up there and look at it. So here's the creek, and then it goes through here. And when I was delivering mail up here along Keystone, up here, the creek goes through this area. And right here in 1970 Keystone, I briefly spoke with the resident, and he goes, yeah, that creek always causes my house to flood. Oh man. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but it's so beautiful in a way, right? So it goes underneath the street here. You can actually see the right of way. See right here, Coleman? See how Coleman here? see how there's this little back area here? It goes underneath the road there. That's why the boundary for the property is right there. And then it starts going underneath here. And then right here's 1345 Williams Circle. Beautiful house. Can barely see it. They really have their like fence up and everything. And then this, so there's a public easement, not public, and a private access easement right here to this property that's back here that's not developed. It's a lot. How did it end up that way? Keystone Creek is underneath it. I think right here is an access portal. I'm not sure. It looks something like that, but there's a creek underneath here. And then it goes down under Alturas, and then it goes underneath, and then it pops back up at Gear Street where it's now above ground, and it's so beautiful to watch. And then as you get to Melba, it goes underneath here. It's on this, and then it starts going subterranean again down here to Kimmel. Then when you get to, here's Whitaker. And then when you get to a University Terrace, now this is, you ever wonder why University Terrace has this little curve here at Vine? You know, this is where the Vine Street Bridge ends at right here. The reason why it's like that is because underneath here is the creek. Now I talked to an engineer. I believe it was Jacobs Engineering that's doing the Arlington Bridge. I said, yeah, there's a creek that goes there. And I said, no, that's a subterranean canal, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's called Peavine Creek. I've looked at the 19th century maps. I've looked at the 1940 map. Here, let me bring it up. 1940 map. It's a creek. It's a natural creek that was paved over to be developed on top of the creek. One moment. This is not what this video was going to be about, but this is, I mean, this is our city. I think of when I'm getting the map here. Bear with me. When I look at these things, I think of the movie Gangs of New York. And the ending scene when U2 is singing, and these are the hands that built America, right? Here it is, right here, Peavine Creek. Right here's Whitaker. Right here's University Terrace. Goes underneath 7th. It goes by Whitaker Park, and then it goes underneath what is now the freeway. And then it goes around this area that used to be a school. And then it goes under the railroad tracks. And then it goes down Chestnut, which is now Arlington. And then empties out into the Truckee River. This is why Roth Way is north and south. Because they had to make a street. It was an accident. They used to have mills here. See all these tracts? See these tracks right here? Ditches running underneath, because these are where all of the equipment for logging, the logging industry and everything used to have their stuff here. Mill Street is called Mill Street because there were mills on Mill Street. Here's Wingfield Park. There's the bridge that's about to be replaced. Same bridge. 1930s bridge. So yeah, Peavine Creek. So let me go back to my map here. So this is where Peavine Creek has an inlet for water to go into it. It's underneath the ore ditch. It's, in other words, they have two waterways. First, the ore ditch is on top and the Peavine Creek is below. This is all flood control area here. When this fills up, I want to put an action camera on a little raft and send it down these tunnels. And then I want to collect it when it dumps out into the Truckee River and get the footage and look at it. I want to see what I want to see what it looks like underneath. It would have to have like lights or something. Okay, this is what I'm on here is the 1960s concession for pedestrians to get over the freeway when they built the Vine Street Bridge. Right there's okay, this is now gone. This was the ore ditch at 6th Street and Vine. This is now gone. It's history. This is now the development for the area where In-N-Out and Starbucks is at. And as I was around, here's how you get to the pedestrian access. It is so neglected and worn out that the pavement is gone. Here's the old ore ditch. It's now underground. Yes, this is flood control area. This is also now gone. How many people see these things? Not many. So, this is 6th Street, old 6th Street. It used to have houses on it. Right next to the freeway. That's NDOT territory right there. This is private property. Now we're back. We're in a different area now. This is near University Terrace and West Street. This is a very yes. Okay, so must have looked beautiful once upon a time. Back to where we were before. Yes, I'm standing on the ore ditch in this shot. We're looking west to the southwest portion of the hills of Reno. That's a bike path if you ask me. Down here, that's the Arlington pedestrian bridge that goes over the freeway. Bike path, perfect. Connects Arlington up to the university. That is what I am doing. Let me go back to my disentanglement plan here. That's what this is up here. So this goes along 8th Street, and then it cuts into the area that I'm standing. Arlington. Okay, let me zoom in for you guys. So you can see. 8th Street, what's left of it, the 2 blocks of 8th Street that are left are right here. Bike path goes parallel with the cars to reduce the amount of collision point off of the curb, not on the street. It's off of the street. Here's Sierra. As soon as you cross Sierra, because above here, these are not couplets. The problem starts at 8th Street. That's the problem. It's 8th Street and south. 9th Street, that's fine. It's yellow. And the reason why it's yellow is because they just built a multi-story parking lot right here on 9th Street, or on 9th Street and Lake. So they're creating more car congestion at this location. So it's now no longer a bike block anymore. It's going to have more cars. How many cars? I don't know, but there's going to be more. Now, when you get to 8th and Sierra, you go across the street and suddenly you have a bike path that goes down here. And then where I'm standing in this shot right here, that's the bike path. It goes down this way. But if you continue the bike path along here through a public access easement, you can get to Whitaker Park. I think this is so crazy. They got an ATV on the ore ditch. Now, the reason why I'm not using the ditch in this area here is because, number one, it's going through this sorority house area, which, I don't know. I don't know what they do there. Sorority stuff, exactly. Yes, thank you. But as soon as you get past the sorority house, then you're into another private property area. This old house, very beautiful, could be fixed up a little bit. It's on University and West. The ore ditch goes through his property, underground. Can't put a bikeway through someone's house unless they want it. I mean, if I was living there, I'd say, come on in, but I don't live there, so I cannot give a public access easement to a bikeway there. But it's so crazy what happens in this area, infrastructurally speaking, at least. So let's look at the 1940 map for a moment. There we go. So where are we? We are up here. Here's Whitaker Park. The ore ditch goes through this area, and then University Terrace and West Street. Freeway goes through here, so now this is a dead end. The ore ditch goes through this guy's lot right here. This little corner piece. Very confusing to deliver that guy's mail. You don't want to go to the University Terrace side. You actually have to go, even though his address is a University Terrace address, you deliver his mail on West Street because that's his front door. Old school numbering. Yeah, they have, look at these. On the ore ditch, they have couches. Isn't that amazing? Just is like, God. And now here's the fence. And then I pan the camera over here. Now we're in this guy's property. There's an access way into this area. Probably, I don't know if it's like a driveway. I can't remember. There's no sidewalk here on University. Here's the ore ditch going through his property. This wood thatched or wood shingle house. God forbid. Oh yeah, that's back when we used to have the free Sierra Spirit bus. Remember those? RTC, Gale. If you're looking at, this is what I was talking about. We don't have this anymore. We don't have free transportation. Now we're at Manzanita Lake. Do you know where I'm going to go next? I bet you already know what I'm thinking. This access way, make the ore ditch subterranean, put a bike path on top of it, and you have a bikeway that goes through the southern perimeter of Manzanita Lake and UNR. Why do you want to do that? To bypass 9th, to have more bikeways on campus, connect up 10th Street, where all of this stuff is right here, have it go across, and have it continue through here, and somehow connect it up to Evans and 9th. You don't have to be on 9th Street. Now, there is a height difference here. That's the problem. I'm trying to think. Maybe we can have a bikeway that kind of slopes down gently right here and connects up here. That would work. You want to kind of make the grade very shallow. So, bikeway, yes, could happen. What? I'm live streaming right now, just to let you know. But what's up?
Make the grade with a shallow bell curve.
Shallow bell curve? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Okay. Man's.
Curve is a method of grading tests.
Oh, the bell curve. Oh God. Chad. God. I'm not the only autistic one in this household. Okay. A bike. Yeah. So there, in other words, there could be a way to make this happen. Instead of having the bikeway go up this steep hill, have it go this way over to Virginia Street. And then, see, I'm not smart. I just have no life. I can do this stuff. Okay. Height elevation. And then yeah. This could, instead of having a stairway here to get over here, you can have an ADA compliant accessibility thing down this grassy knoll. What? Oh, you're hiccuping. I thought you were laughing. It's like, what did I say now? Grassy knoll. Yeah. See, if I were a sniper. No, okay, I'm just kidding. That would work too for this area. Yes. Campus traffic comes this way, goes down, diverts, goes down to surface level, meets at this area here, starts going south on Evans. Okay. Do 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 do. There we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. 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 Why do I have that song stuck in my head? Make a path, make a path, make a path. I don't know what to call these because I don't know the names of the areas, but that's now a bike path. Shared use. I've already been on it. Shared use path. Okay. So I just need to be on campus more and understand the campus more so that way I can create these. Next, what I would probably do is go from here to here to here. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory when, or self-evident when you look at the layouts. I mean, pretty much none of these actually need bike paths on them because the traffic is already calmed. So it's already shared use. Don't need to have special paths. Or you could have designation, signage, that kind of thing can help. What gets interesting is when I look at the northern portion of the campus up here in all of these parking lot areas, I think, so like for instance, when I was looking at this, I was thinking, okay, maybe we can have the path start here and go this way like this. And this is a maintenance facility area. So, yeah, it basically just becomes like a and to try to I was trying to look to figure out how to connect Evans to this one. So that's where that path would end, right? So I'm going to close this one off. And then this one's actually going to be I call these Charros, but really this means pavers. Okay, so Charros is fake pavers. R2. And then we get here. This can be separated facilities for bikes next to the, because there's nothing developed here. So there's plenty of room. So I'm going to make it over here. Two-way path. Junction. Let's look at it. I would have it I like being in the area to take. I don't know this area. There might be a elevation difference that I'm not aware of. Um, but what I would do here is have it curve around. Uh, I don't know if I should have it empty out because see how it turns into pay. Yeah, so right here, this is an inlet. It's a kind of like a parking lot kind of connector road. So right here, it changes. You see how it changes and it becomes parking, which slows people down. There's no center line, right? That's what I'm considering is the design of the road. Right here, I could probably tell there's some kind of a incline here. I can kind of see so this is still an inlet, but there's landscaping here. Um, I'm not saying that all this can't be changed, right? What I'm looking at is what currently is, and thus what would be the least obstructive, the most harmonizing. So, let me see if there's any street views of this. There might be. Let's hope there is. I want to see. Okay, that's Enterprise Road. So, yes, there is. Good. Okay. Let's see what's actually here. Which way am I facing? Okay, so this is, yes. Yeah, there is a slope. There's a height difference here. This is level. Okay. Pedestrian crosswalk here. Existing. So, bike priority path here. This can be moved over slightly. So this becomes like a shared use path here because not many people are going to use it, right? So basically you extend the sidewalk out by another 5 feet. So that way you can create two-way bike path, shared use access, and then it stops like right here because this gets into parking lot area. Okay, see what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? Okay, so that means I got to change a couple of lines around to make it match what I just figured out. In fact, actually, I'm going to do this over again because now I know what I'm doing. So let me go back and fix this up again. Okay. And I got to go back and connect these later too. So first, this one's going to be red. Okay. This is a red line. Because it can be separate on its own. Could be shared use. Like I said, not a lot of people using it, but we got the space. Why not? There could be, I can anticipate since there's parking here, there probably, and they created this area, there probably is more students here. So, but right here, as it heads this way, where are these students heading? So there's a sidewalk that goes here, sidewalk that goes here. I think what I need to do is end the red line here. So two-way UNR3. I don't know what to call these, so I'm just calling them this. And then new line. See, if they had just thought about doing these first and paved the place for bikes originally, then I wouldn't have these problems to solve. It would just be there. Okay. That is shared use and UNR4. Oh, I put a 3 by accident. Oh, wait a minute. How did I do that? Oh, I think I messed up. Hold on. Let me check this one. Ah, yes, I I misspelled it. I'll call this one UNR4 then. Okay. As far as I know, they have to have unique names. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. I'm going to make this look a little less clunky. Okay. And where are my control points here? I don't know why my brain is thinking about that. So, okay, so from here to here. And yes, that's a roundabout. So we'll get the idea. I might flesh that out later. Hmm. No, I think I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Let me end this line here. Blah, blah, blah. Sharos UNR 5. Okay. Let me go back. There. And instead of going that way, what I need to do is, yes. What the hell is there? Is that a building that's blocking something, or is that like something that goes over? So I don't know this. Oh yeah, okay, so it does. It stops there. Okay, so let's see. Yes. Gateway access. Looks like it's for dropping off and picking up. Very car centric. There's pedestrians. How fast is it? Probably, 15 miles an hour, but we have a gate in the way. Probably, I don't know how often they open and close the gate. Is it restricted access for something? So I don't know the campus. That's why I'm hesitant to make, but I'm just trying to find a pathway to get from 17th Street. 17th Street. Man, how many people know that we have 17 streets, right? I only thought about 15th, but here's 17th. Yeah, here's 15th. That's the one that I knew about. And by the way, Genesee Drive, crazy, beautiful area. It's like so old school. Okay, anyway, yeah, 17th Street. This, I'm guessing this might have been once upon a time 18th Street, 19th Street. Okay, anyway, Reno Historic Preservation. Really? Oh. Oh. This is where Reno Historical has. Wait a minute. Is this the same? Yes. That's where they have their offices on campus. I had no idea. I'm going to have to pay them a visit. This that's cool. Yeah, it's across the street from the post office. Huh. Okay, okay, okay. Stadium Way, car stuff here. Yeah, 15th Street, Stadium Way goes in two different directions. So there's west and south. Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, yeah, 16th Street is here, so 17th Street, 18th, 19th. Once upon a time, I bet you. Where should the humans go? Here's the little garden arboretum area. Don't want to mess that up. There's a height difference here, probably. And then, so Stadium Way. Yeah, I would have to have it go down through here. Stadium Way, through this gateway access point, because that's a parking lot. That is, so 16th Street goes into and leaves a parking lot. Crazy. And then here's, yeah, they have left me no choice but to, that I know of. I cannot confirm this, but to the best of my understanding is currently we would either have to go this way where there is no gateway access to the stadium. You know what? That actually might be a more, well, no, because what about humans that are trying to get to the stadium on a bike? They just didn't consider bicycles in this entire plan. Most of the stuff is pretty new, too. It's a maze. It is a maze, and it is amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me check one more thing. Hopefully there's a street view down here. Yes, there is. Good. I can check to see the conditions. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. We might hear some background noise. I mean, not like anyone's actually, paying attention to anything I'm doing here. So, So, yeah, this back here fenced off. Okay. So, this I would consider to be a bypass. I don't know how steep it is. I've never been here. But there's no. Oh, I hate it when they do this. Okay. So, that goes there. Assuming all of this is parking, yes, this is a labeled bikeway. Okay, so yes, it already goes here. Stop sign. Why? Have yield signs. More efficient. 15 miles an hour. Don't need stop signs. Stop thinking like Americans. Okay, and then this goes over a cliff. It's like, why? Yeah, steep. If you want to, you could use a bike over that, but it is steep. That's a parking lot. Okay, so that's more promising looking at that parking lot. Trying to connect the campus together, not have a bunch of. So, okay. Yes, right here. Tight. This would have been good. There's stairway there though. This is probably no, there's a stairway there too. This curve thing looks like it's better. Don't know how steep steep this is. So maybe make it like this and go. No, we don't need to even do that because we already have a bikeway here anyway. So yeah, we don't need to bring bikes over here really because we already have an inlet. And wait a minute, what is this? That happens to, yeah, that's a bike path. And it goes right off of this bike path. Okay, I see what they're doing there. Now let's build it. Or not build it. Let's put it on my map here. Yes. This could be a separated bike path here. They need a sidewalk through here anyway. So I'll make a shared use path. Change. Okay. Yes, I have an access point there already. So let's build it. Goes from here to here to here to here to here, here. Now we got some more room so we can get away from the cars. Now there's an incline. We can't get away from the cars. We're stuck there. Okay. What the hell? What is it, like a one-way bike path going? It's like, where do you go if you're... So, okay, modify the parking lot then for the... So this could be... See, it shouldn't be built that way. There should be a two-way path, one side of the road. This could be fixable. It'll take some money. And let's look at what happens up here. Yes, this is for pedestrians, for access, but not... Okay, so there's already a path here. We could modify that path. Let's look at it from the street view. Yes. Have it go through here? Yeah, no need to go up this little thing right here. Make it this way because it's already paved that way. And then here we have to deal with this nonsense. What are they thinking? Sidewalk with curb, no parking, patient. Wheelchair access, bikeway access that slams into a curb. Ours is not the reason why. And there's that path that I was talking about where, okay, it does. Okay, so yeah. Okay. All right. Here. Path ends here. What am I at? Number 6. Damn it, I just misspelled it. I gotta get some lunch soon. Oh, it's only, well, it's not even 12 o'clock. Wow, that's what happens when you wake up early. Shared use. Yes, it's needed. We need, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, because it's raised up. Might as well make it shared use just like Evan's. Okay, so let me, oh, it is, oh wait, sorry, it already is shared use. What it was like, yeah, duh. But I'm going to change something. This is a parking lot area here. So I'm going to grab this, remove these segments here. Shared use stops there, but then becomes Bike Boulevard here. Ends here. Sharos, UNR 7, like so. And that actually would end up meeting, yes. Now here's the other thing to consider. See, here's the problem. There's this fork. You could continue to go this way, but there's parking. So this would be better disentangled. However, people might want to get off here and just go straight down to where the bike facilities or the bike sharros, whatever you want to call it, already are. So why have this in the first place? So that's the problem. They put a bike lane that really serves no purpose other than to separate the traffic, but so it really should go this way. Okay. Hmm. This needs to be paved out a little bit better. So because it's a fork, I'm going to imagine that this median is beefier, and I'm going to don't want to lose parking if I can avoid it. Don't want to have them curve out and then accidentally go into the road there. So yeah, basically kind of like this. And then this has to merge. This has to merge because it becomes a bike boulevard. There is a sidewalk here. Cars have a stop sign here. I'm assuming 15 miles an hour. but they have a lane here, so it's separated for a reason. After this splits up, that's when it becomes that. Okay, so we do need to have it separated across this. I'll put the lines down and then I'll look at it a little bit more deeply. Gotta have a bike crossing there. That's the important thing. Okay. Now this is Charo's already. So I will keep it like that. I've been here. It's very easy to get to this area. This is kind of like a free-for-all, do what you want kind of thing. Where's my southern portion here? Now I'm trying to figure out how to connect this to that. Okay, so that's where it goes. All right, so here we go. Here. Don't know what this looks like. Should merge, or yeah. Don't know this area well enough here. I am always inclined to have cars and bikes share the space, but we are at 15 miles an hour. Or not share the space. Bikes and humans share space. I guess it depends on which way you're going. And since all of this is slow traffic anyway, we could probably make it have both, depending on which way you're going. We have more flexibility because this is. This actually might be better if they made some changes to this. Lose 2 parking spaces here, bring the cars out a little bit further, have a bike crossing here like this, leave this area for the pedestrians. Whoops. That way it's closer to where this merges. See, trying to get these. Close to each other like that. So let's take a look at our blocks. We got 1 block here. This is not really a block yet. Let me bring this back over here. And then now we gotta have a new. Still worried about this area because it's a heavy parking area there. So do they even have any bike parking on campus, I wonder? Probably not. Because I've been to the meetings. They don't have much of bike facilities at all. Okay. Yeah. Throughway for cars, overhead for pedestrians. So, yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at the new network. Virginia Street. You know, they spent all this money fixing up Virginia Street and they didn't think to make a bike path down it. Waste of money. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, could have been a bikeway right there. All along this could have had a bikeway. Let's take a look at more. Let's see here. Yeah, of course. See, they could have put it there, but instead they decide to put nothing there, just bushes and useless planters and things. No, 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 no. They're thinking about it completely wrong. So, yeah, they had their chance. And they missed it. 2016, 2020, new building. Just make your sidewalk fatter and it'll work. Okay, so this is good. This is good enough for now, at least. I don't know the rest of the campus very well, and plus, it looks like it's all parking lots anyway, so the bicycles can pretty much go wherever they want to. So at least we got some main pathways through. North and south side of the building's connected now, and I'm going to extend this out. Have it go across the street here. And actually, this is going to end up going this way eventually. So I'll leave it as a spur. There we go. It's connected now. Let me fix this area up because I was going to do this. Now that the disentanglement thing has been solved, this is going to be, well, I was thinking about making it local access pass, but then now I'm looking at, well, there's no real places for people to need to stop in the first place. So save room, put it on one side of the street, make it better and faster. Now I'm looking at what side of the street to put it on. All of this area here has on-street parking. We have a median. We have parking lot here. So there's fewer in other words, what I'm saying is if I put it on this side of the street, there are fewer collision points. Yeah. But over here on this side, there's a park. What side of the street would I put it on? Next question to ask, do we need it? What kind of street is Northern Valley? I'm somewhat familiar with this area. And you get, yeah, see, all of this is, it's basically, it's a throughway. So how steep is it? Here's very steep. Here's not so steep. Housing. No collision points here. Private property here. Big fat area here. Not a lot of parking. Yes, there is a park across the street, but that's just one access point. We have a crosswalk here, so that means it would be, and yeah, more inlets here. Put the bikeway on this side. Have access to the park. Remain as it is. Fix this junction up here. In other words, this area here, have the bikeway kind of like curve around or come around here, basically, so people going into the park don't come across this very Americanized bump thing here. I'm thinking about now. Also, this is a pad here, so if this telephone pole weren't here, it would be easy. So we could go around the telephone pole. We got a big fat thing here. But where would that take us? Well, it does take us to a bus stop. However, we also have to think about people who are going through the park to get to Evans. So let's analyze this park. Here's the junction. They could have just made the junction over here. Okay, so let's imagine that there's a junction here, and then you go this way, fatten up this path, make it an extra 5 feet wide. That'll make it a shared use path. And that takes you through all areas of this once again. So you pick one of these to make a connection. Why not do it here at Highland? It's because this is not a pedestrian safe area. You got to do it through the park. So this area here, although people can be on the street and use it, use your parks to create bike facilities that are dedicated for pedestrian and bike, right? So where would be a good place to bring this path from here through here? What is this? This looks like yeah, I would say, but then we have to look at this junction here. Basically, I'm trying to get to Evans, right? So from here to here, Evans cut through the park, because the only other cut through area that we have could have been here. It can be through here. Now, here's another option. Thinking outside the box. Pedestrian here, bike boulevard here, goes across the railroad tracks. People are already doing it. Not supposed to happen according to the way that this looks, but here's your telephone pole lines, your power lines. This is the ore ditch. This is a dead end. Have filtered permeability. This is a side spur. It's not a heavily traveled. So have a grade crossing here. Have it go into here and connect up to your bike path here. That's what I would do. Because people coming up here, well, okay, now let's take a look at another thing of practicality. Do we need this? Because 9th Street is going to have a bike path on it. So we don't need to have it through Poplar in the first place, because it's going to be down here a block away. And this is going to come across and connect to Audi. So this path here is for people trying to get somewhere else. So we might not need to do all of that, what I just talked about in the first place. Go up Valley, and where are people trying to get to? Dolly Drive, MacArthur. So there's a tennis center here. Jody Drive. Railroad tracks need to come. So people can't go across here unless we make an extra inlet for them. So this actually might be a better place to do what I was just thinking. Let's go to the surface street, the surface level. There's already facilities here. Let's see how well it could be created to go across here. Let me go to Google Earth. 1 second. Yes, I'm still doing this 2 hours later. Believe me, I do this all frickin' day. Okay. Google Earth. Why Google Earth? Because I can get some 3D views and take a look at things a little differently. Okay. Tennis courts. Sports facilities. Connected directly to the campus on the north side. There is a greater need, but let's also take a look at this. What's this little area here? This is getting away from things. There's a height difference here, elevation difference. That means this is climbing up, so this is actually more treacherous. This would be a better place to do it. And we already have, yeah, so this should be the junction right here. Let's take a look and see how steep it is. We can fix this area up, have this climb up steadily. Do we have a street view on this side? Well, it stops over here. Okay. So there is an elevation difference. Not sure what this, okay, it's probably, it's America, of course. It's probably going to be for parking. We have sidewalk here. This needs to be a nice steady incline, because all of this is on a hill going uphill anyway. Okay, so let me go back to overhead view. Let's check out. Okay, so yeah, see, this is a junction. I'd like to keep everything contained in one area for the junctions. Instead of having multiple junctions slowing down traffic, have it come through here. And let me look at, okay, now what I have to do is I have to look at Washoe County Assessor map. Okay, the train right-of-way is very thin here. This is owned by University of Nevada. This is Union Pacific Railway. Okay. The train tracks. Okay, this has to be an assessor mistake because the train tracks are on the property of Nevada instead of the railroad. That's funny. It happens a lot. Um, Dead end for a street here. Can it happen down here instead? Can we use this street as access between here and this street, Dolly Drive, and what looks like it's Bartlett Street? Let's take a look at the Google Earth view for that. This might be our answer. We might not have to have an additional thing here. So, yes, it's already there. It's already there. It's already there. Street view. Okay, fence. Get rid of it. Have filtered permeability, and you have bike access. In other words, put up more of these things to prevent cars from going through. Let the humans through. It's the way they can access these facilities. Okay, there's our answer. So go back to the map. In other words, it's easier to change policies than it is to build new things. It's way, way easier because it's just on paper. If there's bureaucratic problems with it, well, that's a different story. But here's what I'm going to do. This. Oh, do we need it? Let me look at this once again. Why did we need bike facilities on Valley in the first place? Because there are none. What kind? One way, a two-way path on one side of the street because there's not a lot of front-facing property until you get to the freeway, and then you should change it to two-way because there's more. Should I or not? See, I don't even know if we need bicycle paths in this area. This area here is messed up. 7th Street, 6th Street. Bike facility, no bike facility. Bike lanes on either way would. How many? Okay, so there's unofficial parking here. Steep. You know what? This is a car road. It really is. It really is. It's there's communities here, but there's bike access all around it. We just need to have a connector between from here to here somewhere through here, which is where I was suggesting it should be through the park. And that's why I was trying to get up here to connect that up. But let's look at this practically. We have a residential community here. This is the best throughway right here. Okay, so I think what we need to do is just create east-west connectors through this area rather than have another bikeway through here. So I'm going to change this plan. And since I envision that this bikeway here is going to continue down, we'll connect it up here at Jody. Let me take a look at the street parking, find out why it's there. It's a beautiful area. The ore ditch goes right through these houses. It's really nice. Let's take a look at it. Jody. Very narrow sidewalks. Residential permit parking. Okay, so these are for people who live in this area. They don't have enough parking. That's the problem. Okay, what do we do? What's the speed limit? 25. Okay. To improve this area, and why do they have a double yellow line down this? Because that means don't pass each other, right? That's probably because there's a train. And also because, oh, no, it's all the way over here. Okay. So there is a considerable amount of vehicle traffic, potentially, through Jody. What I'm looking to do is, since this is no parking here anyway, bring the street out, bring the sidewalk out a little bit, right? Another 5 feet, shared use path, and that would connect up. Now they have this here. It's away from the corner. This means that there was so these have priority. Priority. Let's simplify it. How do you simplify it? Okay. You can't, because what people are doing, and the reason why they did this here instead of making people walk over here, is because it's a longer walk. People are going to try to do this, so they put it here, away from the here. What is that thing? Oh, okay. Okay. New option. This is all University of Nevada, Reno. This is going to be repaved. Repaved for stuff. Wait, that's Highland, Jody. Oh, I had it the wrong way around. This is Highland and that's Jody. Okay. Okay. Once again, this is opportunity to make things better. Have a one-way path along the University of Nevada, Reno property on this side. Fatten the sidewalk. So have bike stuff over here and have bike stuff over here. And then that connects you to the park way better than it is now. And this will simplify this. So in other words, they can bring this closer once they make this path fatter, because people won't need to cross, but people won't need to be on this side of the street as much, because there'll be a nice big fat path here, you see? People coming this way, Highland, see, it's that double yellow line that's messing with me. This means no passing. It's next to a park. They're acting as though it's a bypass. And the reason why is because 9th Street has not really been improved that much. New housing here. I anticipate eventually, wait. Okay, this is all still privately owned. Is Nevada buying up property here? Okay, this is city of Reno. I'm trying to see if the unit. Okay, I don't even know what that is. Okay, it's a public facility of some sort. All of this is private property. Wow, that big one there. It's wow. This is a corporation. It is a corporation. It's an LLC. Multiple addresses for this document. So let me see. Let me just look at the APN real quick. Very new. It just got purchased this year. So there's some business deals happening in this area. Who is Latigo? For 88 bucks. Why so cheap? Oh, that's a fee. Okay. That's the fee for making this document. Okay. Okay. But whence did this come? And why can't I go back to my other tab? Damn it. There we go. Why is there no previous prior APN? Okay. It was 2014. Is there a prior APN? There is not. Victoria Sloan. Nappen Family Trust, Canyon Investment Group, Latigo, Reno LLC. All right. They're from Los Angeles. So this is an LLC. It's actually a corporation that's owned in California, Wilshire Boulevard, and they're buying up property in Reno. Scott Whitaker. Sorry, here's what I'm looking at, by the way. Latigo Reno LLC foreign. Okay, so this is a California company and they're buying up property. Scott Whitaker is the main key access point for all of this. Okay. And why is he buying up property? What's he planning on doing here? Let's take a look at the other properties that surround it. He might be buying up this whole block. – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– That one's privately owned. Alpha, Apollo, Rentals. Okay, so all of these houses are still owned individually. Latos, Anthony Latos, okay. Bailey and Sons. So this property here has multiple addresses on it. One, two, three, like 4 different houses. Interesting. It was kind of rural farmland next to the railroad tracks, next to the ore ditch. And a corporation now owns it. Interesting. There's land grabs going on around here, I'm telling you. David Spikes. University of Nevada, Reno. University of Nevada, Reno. University of Nevada, Reno. The university is interested in property on this side. University of Nevada, Reno. Okay. Why am I looking through all these? I'm trying to find out what's happening with this block. I'm trying to find out if it's going to end up being lots of dense housing. My instinct tells me eventually yes. This is going to be a major housing tract right here. And therefore, this might also become part of this entire block. I'm picturing it like all of this eventually becoming university next to the park. So that means that it's in a state of flux, transition, bike path through here, very important. Eventually, bike path on Highland. Have it connect up to Sadlier. Goes around the park. And then connects up to the 2-way path on Wells. So that's what I'm going to do. On the south side. Nope, nope, nope. And this is going to be a red line, not a white line, because pedestrian high area next to a park with residential. I'm going to create a crossing here. Traffic calming. Then have it go along the perimeter of here. And have it connect up to Wells there. That's my thought process. That's what I do for these things. This is what I've been doing. Evans, Wells connector. So now we've created a new block. Okay. County land here. Ore ditch goes through here. Housing over here. They need connectivity. What can we do? This is Sutro. Wedekind. This needs connectivity. At Sutro, this is where they're making it a two-way path. Have the connection over here next to where the businesses are. So let me extend this out like so. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. No. What are you doing? Oh, that's what it's doing. Okay, let me get out of that. Oh, that, what the hell is going on? Huh, weird. I'm still learning this program. Okay. And then from here, connects up to there. They can lose a couple of parking spots. Two-way path goes down this side. So now we've just connected Whitkind up to Audie and Wells. And now we have to create a block from here to here. So this is going to be very difficult because train track. All of this is, oh, that's privately owned. When did they buy this? This was county property, I'm pretty sure. 2022. Let's look at the previous APN. Oh, okay. This was privately owned. 2016, prior APN. No results for this. That sounds like an error. Interesting. Cleveland Mana Family Trust. So we can't go through this area anyway because it's private. I mean, we can, but eminent domain is horrible. The creek, the ore ditch goes through here. That's why I was interested in this area. But this is all Gray Wolf, Gray Rock Wolf, Gray Rock Wolf, Gray Rock Wolf. This looks like it might be a flood zone. Well, okay, how about this, Mr. Gray Rock Wolf? What if... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What was I doing? Let me go back to what I was thinking about. Okay, what if we use Valley and Enterprise Road? Because this is supposed to be a northern connector coming down. And let's say we connect it to Sutro by way of. And are there bike facilities here at all? No. And Hug High School was moved. So this is no longer Hug High School. And so there's no real reason to go up here that much. Which I'm kind of glad for because this area sucks. It has slip lanes. It's okay. Timberway to Sutro. Let's take a look at Google Earth Street View. Sutro. Hey, are you getting hungry?
No.
Oh.
Thank you, though.
Yeah, it's almost 1. Huh. It's the parking lane that people on this path. Okay, what does this say here? Share the road. Share the strode. This is horrible. End school zone. Huge height difference. Railroad track. Huge height difference. 100 feet. Car road. Definitely a car road. No more high school up there, thank God. Okay. Let's get back down to the land of sanity. This is Whittekind. Okay, people do need to get here. We've already solved that issue. Go back to my map. Yeah, that's car territory. That's what Evans handles. I was looking for a connector to the northern side. There is. Okay, yes, people would take, instead of taking, okay, so people can take. That's where it gets steep. Here's the ore ditch. Okay. Question. Fat road. Looks like it was going to be a fat road all the way down at one point. They changed their mind. They turned it into a, yes, this is our bike path area. And what I'm trying to do is connect. I'm trying to find a way. Is there for, okay. Wow. Wow. This property here is beautiful trees. It's the ore ditch. Of course it's got trees. What I'm trying to do is connect this residential community up by bike Can't do it through Valley. I'm trying to do it through Wittekind. No bike facilities on Sutro. It's steep. Right here, we could have filtered permeability. Go through around these trees, connect up to these streets here, and they can use this to get direct to where they need to go, including the shopping center. That's what's on my mind. And let me look at the street view. Yes. This is up. What is that? Corpse Community Center. Salvation Army. Huge unused parking lot. Housing. Tasty tacos. All right. Let's plan this area out. Aha. What's hiding behind here? And that's what you call filtered permeability, ghetto style. You can go through here. It's got drainage. This kind of ends up in a gravel area. Pedestrians can get through there. So bikes can get through there. They're probably already doing what I want to formalize. Office space here. It's probably offices for these. Maybe it's the... Nope, it has a completely different look than this place. Visitor parking. Community center there with fencing around it. Why is there fencing? Seems to be antithetical to a community center. Fence. Open this area up. Jeez, okay. Are these streets privately owned? Nope. How about these ones? Yes. That's why. This section of Wittekind Road is privately maintained. The property line ends here. Salvation Army owns Centennial Way here. Hart Trust, Robert A. Hart Trust. What is this building, though? (1984) Builders Association of Northern Nevada. And then they sold it to Mr. Trust or Mr. Hart in 2005. And what is the address? Got to go to Google Maps for that one. Man, if they could get along and try to figure, because this here, So you got a car wash. Got this little Mexican shopping center. Northern Nevada Literacy Council. Okay. NOLC. Okay, so it's a learning center for Latinos. Got it. Okay. Community center. And then Salvation Army. Salvation Army Corp Community Center. Fat ass parking lot. My God. Think of how much stuff you could put here. Okay. I mean, look at this thing. It must have been like a shopping center at one point. It's a thrift store. Okay, it is the shopping center. Okay, so basically commercial. Salvation Army commercial area. They call it a community center, but really it's just a store. Okay, and then it's a theistic store. Rocket Bitcoin ATM. Bitcoin ATM here at what is this? This is, yeah, it's a gas station here on the corner. Okay, so you got a gas station, you have a thrift store. So basically they could use a library around here, really. This could be a, okay. And they do make good tacos there. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to connect up this community that is very much in need of connectivity using something other than this steep hillside strode. Okay, how steep is it? Share the road. Well, okay. Where's the property line? Right up against the sidewalk. There's no room. Okay. Yeah, Sutro sucks all the way down for property rights because it's so tight. There's no extra room for expansion of the street without eminent domain. And this parking lot here for the taco joint is really tight already. It's confusing. They could fix it up. Yeah, really what needs to happen here? I mean, I'm going to go with what needs to happen. And so I'm going to start here. There's more than enough street space for what I'm intending. This community needs it. All they got to do is move the parking spaces a little bit further back. And then family trust. Man trust again. So all of this is family trust for Cleveland. Wow. So yeah, they own all of this property here for, looks like almost some kind of a farm processing kind of thing. What is this? Brunetti Lane. Cleveland once again. So just this one is owned by someone else. And look at all that junk they got there. Okay. Someone's been doing wheelies here. They've been having fun. Donuts. This looks like it was going to be... Okay, so that's Cleveland. Cleveland, Mana. Okay, so Cleveland and Mana are all kind of the same group. Zachary Mana. Okay, that's where he lives. Farmland, basically. This too. And then Gray Rock Wolf is buying this property area up here. Okay. Ore ditch goes right through that. Wolf Run. I wonder if Gray Rock Wolf and Wolf Run are the same thing. I'm going to go back to that original question I was asking earlier. For connectivity, let me look at my map real quick, see where I was at. I'm wondering if Mr. Grey Wolf would be interested in having a bike path go through this area. You have a fat ass road going nowhere leading to Manha Family Trust. What if we get a public access easement to go through here and then connect up to these new houses that I have a feeling are going to show up in this little area? Go along the ore ditch where they can't do anything with it anyway. Perfect place for a bikeway. Shared access, pedestrian, connects up to Valley, right next to the tennis courts. Goes here. They got room. Across the street. Take some of that useless landscaping away. Bring it over here. Improve this landscaping by bringing the grade up. In other words, we're changing the grade for the access. I'm just going to tentatively put it up here like this for right now and connect up there to the university. So the way there's a, essentially here, let me show you what I've made. Random number, shared use. Evans, Sutro, connector. There you go. Maybe. It would. Actually, you know what? Nope. It would actually be better Well, see, here's the problem. This is privately owned. Well, all of that's privately owned, so it doesn't matter. We would have to get private. We would have to find out if they're willing to do this. But my thinking here is that there's already. Yes, this is owned by, I believe. Okay, now let's. Well, let me see what the land looks like. I'm going to make modification to this because this community still needs access, right? There's nothing going on here. There's plenty of room back here. My God. What the hell are they doing back here? Look at this. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Let me look at. Well, okay. Let's see here. Yeah, someone call code enforcement on this dude. So yeah, Mr. Navarro de Rizos, you need to clean your backyard. Okay. It's hilarious. Mr. Dombovari and Navarro. Oh, Leticia. Okay, excuse me, Mrs. Leticia. I need to clean your backyard. Anyway, I'm just playing with that idea because, okay, let me look at Google Earth again. There's an elevation difference here. Well, yeah, that's the reason why you want the bike way to go along the ore ditch because it's flat. See, that's the thing. And have it go along here. Okay. Yeah, have it follow the ore ditch. That was my original idea in the first place. So, and we need to have access for this Latino community here. So I'm going to just move. So that way people from UNR can have a direct access to tacos. Very important. Wouldn't you agree, Shad?
Yes.
Yes.
Tacos are important.
They are. And this area here can use more access. Okay. Almost there. Goes along here. And from there, it okay. Copy. Okay, so now the new, let's see here. There we go. Instead of calling it Evans Sutro Connector, go to my edit feature form. Where's it at? There we go. And the new name of it is called La Conexión del Taco. The taco connector. Why? Well, because I'm racist. No, because UNR, housing, level ground, community, access way, shopping center, community center, level ground, existing right of way, shared use access, no need for cars. Bam, done.
Too long of a name. We should definitely call it the Taco Connector.
Yeah, it's the taco connector. No, I'm just saying these are the reasons why I put this path here in this very awkward place. That's the reason why. I mean, it can still connect down through here, but if I move it up through here, I mean, so that's the thing. Yeah, so it might still end up being, I mean, it depends on what's happening with this property down here. You know what? Okay. Well, let me hold on. I'm still going to call it the taco connector though, because that. Okay. Okay. Man, Carlos is going to kill me. Okay.
Out of curiosity, what tacos is it connecting to?
Oh, very good tacos. The cheapest around, actually.
What's the name of the taco shop?
Tacos Del Rey.
Oh, tacos. Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to get to the taco shop, but okay. So let me put this back to
I was just curious which taco shop.
yeah, Tacos Del Rey, and I'm anticipating this area is going to end up getting filled with condos and apartments and student housing and stuff. And there's ore ditch there. It's perfect. It's begging for a shared use pathway that goes along the ore ditch, connects up to this community here, right behind the taco shop and the little community center area here. Yes, there you go. And a fitness area over here too. Tennis courts. Well, there's my dream plan. There we go. Now let's see it get struck down. But hey, it works. It creates a block. We need it. We need this area to be connected. So, good. East-west connectors done for a video that had nothing to do with this. Yeah, it was supposed to be about disentanglement, so I should probably get back to that window. I got sidetracked, but, you know, things are things. I need to go get something to eat. I'm going to disconnect for now. Hopefully someone... Oh, no one's been watching this except me. All right, well, we have a good stopping off point. So yeah, we're going to get back to the downtown area, examine the disentanglement plan, try to relieve some of the stress points. But I am hungry, so I'm going to get going. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day.